And okay, I've got faces. Nothing seems to be exploding. That's
My
an
face is
improvement.
exploding.
Well, that sounds like a personal problem, man. All right. So welcome back, kids. I say it's probably the youngest one in the room. So Sharid and Teo, you guys have been, after seeing your compatriots dragged off in the streets of the Warrens by some automatons led by one of the three commanders of the guard, the Tribunus, Commander Olivarius. You all decide to come up with a plan of recruiting some help from the gladiators in the mall and see who's willing to kind of help you infiltrate the hold in the upper district of the Mantle. Um, Thanks to Garth, you managed to round up quite the little group of Garth and Roland, the Marlasars, the two-headed giants. Um, Sharid's most recent opponent in the mall, Udo, the Kagura warrior, as well as a half elf named Starkiller and a Kenku that goes by the name of Kek, which for some reason speaks in one word French statements.
Oui. Baguette.
Oui. Bonjour. Oui. So you all made it into the main area of the arteries with zero plan except to say that you're supposed to be here. After some persuading or deceiving, depending on how you look at it, you were taken to essentially the foreman's office of this section of the arteries, where, among being investigated or grilled, Cherie just clocks the man in the face and then proceeds to slaughter the entirety of the office.
I'm right.
um,
You knew
ultimately,
that was the plan ever since it
yeah,
came up.
absolutely. What other plan is there ever?
I mean, for a barbarian, like, come on.
Oh. Ultimately, you whittle down the force in the room enough to where the remaining person or two people, I think it was, have stopped fighting you. Like they know they're going to lose. They choose to keep their health more so intact. So after some pressuring, you receive essentially a written okay signed by the foreman saying that you're supposed to be here for some after hours work as issued by the mall. Whereupon I believe you tossed the remaining men down one of the material shafts to a lower level and just left them,
Mm-hmm.
As one does.
as one does. This is Sparta, after all. You then made your way under the direction of Lars to one of the eastern tunnels to another section of the arteries. Now, this tunnel initially is lit just like the rest, but quickly you notice that these torches that are lining the walls start to become more sparse. Even fewer remain lit. You notice small bits of mine rail were built in this particular path, but it quickly becomes less maintained, more rusted, the wood torn apart as you find tipped over mine carts with hardly any material in them. As you enter what's very noticeably an unused web of passageways attached to the arteries. And Tio, as you're wandering approaching this pathway, you noticed a strange robed specter floating across hallways between walls and it seems to be going generally in the direction of these pathways. So let's bring you
Free robes.
to free robes. So from where you are, you notice that the pathway goes forward another 20, 30 feet and seems to kind of drop off, almost as if the pathways are uneven. Um, on one pathway to the east, you notice a telltale red glow, which you have seen primarily from the automatons in town. But aside from that, you notice another torchlight to the south. Where would you like to go?
Lars, I defer to your expertise.
He was on point.
He says, I mean, at this point, this is just a web. My intelligence says somewhere on the eastern end of this network of caverns, but I don't know the direct path.
Okay. Left?
Sure. I'll trust your barbarian eyes.
Left it is.
He says left, points right.
Yeah.
All right. Donuts, so good. Um, as you approach this kind of drop off in the pathway, uh, as you previously noticed, the floor seems to kind of drop essentially into a cliff face about 30 feet down. And you see, standing with its back to this cliff below you, is one of the automatons. Not moving, short of its head scanning left to right, seemingly keeping an eye on the path ahead of you. And you do notice as you're exploring this area where the torchlight fades, you see cracks in the ground that let off a very faint glow, as if leaking light from the magma below these caverns.
Lars?
He says, "Hey, don't look at me, man. I said what I said."
Was the intelligence lead on the entrance to the prison from guards information or from workers information?
He says, "Hey, a guy can't divulge his sources. It's
We're,
professional courtesy."
really? Teo will say, surrounded with this militia in the middle of the arteries.
Hey, somewhere in this network, that rascal Urgle has some kind of entrance leading into the hold. Right now,
Urgle. Okay.
right now we're underneath the cliff face that leads up to the mantle. So somewhere in here, he has some kind of passageway, pathway, whatever that was dug out for his use. I couldn't tell you exactly where it is because if so, I would have gone in myself.
If I were Urgle, then I would protect it with my creations. Teal will imply, nodding to Lars and Sharid. And then looking down at this automaton.
All right. Well, shall we go?
Here we go.
Here we go. Yeah, Sharid will just take point then and just kind of nonchalantly walk up to and like past the automaton.
Well, there's a 30 feet drop down. Sounds.
Oh, I didn't realize it was that.
Hey, Marlisars. What's the dragon's name again?
Yeah, I mean, it's Hebby and Hobie.
And the dragon, I don't know if I got the dragon's name.
Roland.
Of course. How did I forget? Roland. It's at the top of my notes. Hey, Roland, Marlosars, can you give us a hand here? Teo will just point at the cliff.
uh, Hebby and Hobie will kind of walk up because they themselves are probably, I don't know, 12, 15 feet tall. Um, they will walk up to the front of the line here, kind of smushing you a little bit to the side, Sharid.
Yeah.
They're very got a wide berth going on. And they look down and they see the automaton and they say,
Mm-hmm.
"Got this."
Mm-hmm.
And they actually hop down that 30-foot drop. You hear and feel the cavern around you just kind of shake as some small pebbles fall from the ceiling. And you hear just this guttural as they swing their, I believe it's a morning star. Yeah. Down onto the head of this automaton.
Wait, I didn't mean you to. Okay.
uh, and okay. They slam down onto the cranium of this thing and actually bash the head of this automaton into its chest. And you see the torso start to leak a kind of red ichor that you've seen from some damaging blows on these automatons before. But it ultimately crumbles to its knees.
Nice. Teo will just crawl down, dragging with the claws to get down then.
They yell up, "It's safe!" And they will actually kind of hold up their hands a little bit, clearing maybe, I don't know, we'll say 20 feet for folks to kind of climb down, and they lower folks down to the next level.
I'm not sure if we're supposed to be able to, but I can't move tokens. It says game paused.
There you go.
Okay.
So yeah, you make it down to this lower level. Give me perception checks.
Eesh.
Okay. So Tia, you got a 7. You both hear something coming. You notice that when you get down here, the path splits again. One path to the south, one path to the east. From that path to the south, you can make out something that's not quite the ambient sounds here in the mines, but you can't make out entirely what it is. Seems like there is some kind of movement or activity happening to the south here.
Does it sound like a single source or like multiple parties?
With that roll, it kind of blends
I
together.
can't tell. Okay.
Too echoey.
It's probably those free robes. People going after those robes.
Do you want to run?
No.
Oh, so you don't want to go down that way?
I don't need robes. Do you need robes?
No.
Everyone likes robes.
Marlosars, do you want free robes?
Uh.
I thought so.
All right. Well, I guess if nobody wants a robes, then we'll continue down this way.
Okay. As you continue down the path, it continues to split with another path heading south. As you reach that cross section, you see another cliff face further ahead to the north, and then more splits in the path.
Uh, Should we flip for it? I don't know. I would
Can
assume
I
that not to go down to the right because I may, perhaps we would just loop back.
could I try like tracking, like sniffing the ground for like traces of metal that might match the automaton or tracks?
Um, sure. Give me a survival check. 20. You wouldn't necessarily lock in on any metals from the automatons because they're made of iron, the same as every other
Oh,
metal that's in the walls here. However, you do see that there, based on the dirt and the soil here, there's been a lot of movement and passing through here, both of heavy footsteps, which seem to match the automatons, but also of some less humanoid feet.
okay. And do they have a particular direction, or is it just kind of a mess at this junction?
Um, so the ones you see, some seem to pass from the cliff face coming from the north and heading down one of the paths to the south. You do also notice that a set of footprints, which seem to be more claw like, pass down the pathway that you're passing.
Hmm. So Tia will be crawling on the ground, kind of sniffing and checking things and lifting up some dirt and checking the walls. Go to Sharid. Got some claw marks in the ground here, going south down this path, but seemed busy on the other way. I'm not really sure which way to go, but we were looking. Actually, I can't remember if we found that other half orc, whose name I don't remember.
Oh, the one that the bartender was asking about?
Malachi. Yeah,
Yeah, you have not found him. No.
we have not found Malachi. It doesn't really fit orc. These claw marks, they don't. They're not. Yeah, they're not really orcish. Are they like mine? Like being a lizard folk?
Possibly. They seem slightly reptilian.
What does your instincts tell you?
Sheree would probably see Tio just constantly like matching his own claws to those claw marks and just being a little intrigued by that. I suspect some species may be related to my own in this direction. I don't know what that might indicate. I'm very intrigued by these claw marks, I have to admit.
Should we investigate or should we continue further on down that way?
Kind of want to chase the claws, but I trust your instinct. It's been pretty good so far.
I said we go down the other way,
All right.
towards the
Tio,
red light.
no hesitation, trusts Shuri's
Yeah.
intuition.
So yeah, we pursued head down this way.
Okay. So let me bring everyone here. You follow this pathway, which for anyone without dark vision, it's fucking dark. So really the only beacon that you have is the faint glow that Sharid gives off as a fire genasi. Um,
I thought we brought a torch. Oh, it stifles that?
no, I mean it certainly doesn't stifle it. If you have a torch, you have some light. But even so, outside of the I think 15-foot
It's pretty small.
radius
Yeah.
of light, it's pitch black.
Okay.
Aside from the
Yeah.
faint glowing from the earth.
Sharid, well, also, like, even though I have dark vision, I will snap my fingers and cast produce flame on my fingertips, almost as like small torch for myself as I head down. It only has a radius of, I believe, 10 feet,
Okay.
but
There's
to allow others to see near me, even though I can see further.
Okay.
And
So as you go
yeah,
ahead.
go ahead. I was just gonna say I don't want to get into moving tokens if you just want to take
Yeah.
us to a point of interest.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. So as you follow this down, you notice that the pathway starts to curve around, and you start to hear some more sounds, but it's also coupled with a weird smell. Give me another round of perception checks.
Going bad roll, good roll, bad roll.
So, Theo, to you, this seems like just a kind of a very faint cacophony of growls and moans. It seems ahead, not immediate, but maybe I don't know, a couple dozen feet, maybe 100 feet. Sharid, the smell hits your nose, and it smells of sulfur.
Mm. All right, my friends, it is getting a little stinky.
Stinky.
But, yeah, that doesn't slow my progress.
Okay. So you all continue further down. Um, and you notice those sounds obviously start to get a little louder as you approach more. As you start to round this corner, you see a very faint glow in the darkness. It seems to be kind of a pulsing light in the shape of a canine figure. Most prominently, this light seems to pulse from the mouth as if it was a torch. Um, Shreed and Tio, give me nature checks.
Okay.
Nice. Neither of you necessarily know what these are. Are you all moving stealthily or just kind of barreling your way through?
Not just at. I
At a
wouldn't. I
normal
wouldn't
pace.
say stealthy. Yeah, just as a normal pace.
Okay. So, as you round the corner, you catch the faint outline of 3 or 4 of this creature. Um, and they
There's the
seem to be
claws.
surrounding 4 other figures that seems to be the source of the moaning.
Hmm.
Oh, what are the figures that are moaning? We can't
The-
tell.
you can't necessarily tell.
My friends, I have an idea.
Listening.
Why don't we set up a pick play?
Pick, play. Ah,
And that'll, somebody to go ahead and distract them and get a little bit of a chase. And when they turn the corner, boom.
okay. Tio's gonna stealth right into this junction here to plant a trap.
Okay. Give me
Hunting trap?
a stealth check.
This could go poorly right off the bat. Okay.
Okay. That's good. So you got a non-natural 20. So you're going to set a hunting trap right here.
Yeah, right at the junction. Tio will just slowly crawl, take it out from his backpack, and just slowly pull it down. Just pour some dirt, just enough, just barely enough to cover it. Slowly moving the dirt quietly.
Okay.
And then you'll just kind of look to Sharid as Tio's on all four, posturing like Tio's about to go in to bait them.
Okay. Sheree, do you do anything before Tio heads in? You see him put down this trap.
you sure you want to run in? I figured perhaps we would just throw something, but
Oh, yes.
maybe Lucanero.
That is a good idea.
No, let him just run in. It's fine.
I don't know why I was thinking that. I think Tio's just excited to get involved. He's not used to it. That's right. That's right. We should just hunt them, not just.
I
throw
want to
them.
be part of the.
He's muttering to himself as he's pulling out an arrow.
Yeah, Sharid will step back and get like against the wall here.
All right.
If
All right. So Tio, the floor is yours.
then you'll aim for the one furthest back. I'll just do a Slayer's Prey on it and then take a shot.
All right. So furthest back, as in furthest from you, or like?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, that one. All right. So go for it. So you knock an arrow and let loose. A 19 will hit. So this arrow flies through the darkness. The only heading is the faint glow of this creature's body, and you manage to nail it right in the shoulder. Go ahead and roll damage.
And Slayer's Prey.
Okay, not bad.
He'll slowly back up.
Do that. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and roll initiative. As this creature turns to you in the darkness, you can see these flickering yellow-red eyes look almost directly at you. You're not sure if it sees you or not, but it knows where that arrow came from, and it starts to turn its body towards you and move in your direction. Okay, and remember, I believe Sharid has control of Udo, and Tio has the Marlasars.
Yeah. Taking up the whole hallway.
So let us pull this here. Drop that there. Up. There we go. Maybe. There we go. Super. So let's. Yeah. So starting off combat is Starkiller. Yep.
Look at all the way in the back.
He's like, what the hell is happening? What's going on?
I can't even see this guy.
Yeah.
he just holds action.
Yeah. He pulls out a longbow from his back, knocks an arrow, and waits. And you just hear from the darkness just the tension on his bow. I'll just be here. Lars, who's been kind of keeping pace with the two of you, heard your plan, and he takes out the short sword that's on his side and gets ready for one of these creatures to make their way over here. So he holds his action for any creature to get in range for stabbing. Sharid.
All right. Sharid, he's going to just run up here to get a good look at all of them.
The beacon in the darkness, yes?
Yes. And just like shout some sort of noise and then run back.
Ooga booga booga.
And but you know what? He's actually just going to run back to there and Sharid is going to take the dodge action.
Okay.
Nope.
So hound number 1, the one that got shot, is going to make its way down 5, 10, 15, 20, and 25. And it'll actually trigger your trap, Teo.
Deck save.
Dex save.
13.
It does save.
Boom. Then it just goes back.
Okay. So it steps, and you hear the metal trigger of this contraption as it's essentially a bear trap. These metal jaws just kind of sling shut, but this creature kind of hops back a few feet. And what's that? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. It's going to stay where it's at. But it does see you, Sharid. And actually, it would. Yeah. It actually is going to see the group of you. It seems to be able to see in the dark as it just lets out a roar in the darkness.
That's gonna get some attention.
Yep, because another one of these creatures is going to make a beeline for the light around the corner, which is Sharid. And it is going to try and bite you. Sharid, what's your AC?
17. Remember, it's at disadvantage.
Yep, that's right. Okay. It actually beelines it towards you, rips around the corner, and just essentially tries to lunge at you, but you are able to take your spear, kind of bat it off to one side, ultimately avoiding the hit. Udo.
Udo is
It would help if I actually gave Udo vision. There we go.
Udo is going to with his longbow take a shot at the creature in front of Sharid.
Okay. An 11. He's gonna miss.
Okay. And that is his turn.
Okay. Teo, you're up.
Okay. I think Teo is just going to take aim at the one just in the junction there, and is carefully aiming with that bow at the one of the front legs of this wolf looking creature. And yeah, I guess bonus action Slayer's prey on this one that's in the middle. I don't know if it's the same one. I can't remember if it's the same one I hit before with that.
The one that's there is the same one.
Oh, okay. I'm only going to use that one bonus action right now anyway. Oops. Ooh.
A 19 will hit. For 10 points of damage. Okay.
And Teo is also, after shooting it, just going to check Lars to see if Lars is still like interested in engaging. Teo's a little worried that Lars is just going to suddenly take off or something, so he's just assessing how involved he is.
Yeah, he seems to still be interested so long as you all are continuing in combat.
All right.
But from the darkness, because I forgot, an arrow flies from behind you, aimed at the creature in front of Sharid.
Oh, Star Killer.
Yeah. Come on. Yeah, man. Don't do that. Okay. There we go. But it does go a little bit wide. So he does miss. So Roland. Roland maintains his position at the back of the party, and holds an action in the off chance that something swings around behind you all.
Okay. Protecting the flank. Oh my god, that's perfect for Roland. Okay.
Yep. That's essentially what he did in the foreman's office. That's what he's going to do now. Marlisars.
Am I seeing this right? Marlisars is down to 23 hit points?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay. I think Teo would be like, I should have healed you. Oh, but Marlisars. I can't see why Marlisars wouldn't try and charge it. Can he navigate through that space?
Yeah, he can essentially enter yours and Lars's space so long as they end out on the other side.
Like right here?
Yep.
Oh, the player thinks that'll get him killed, but it feels in character that he would charge.
I don't know what you're talking about. What?
Well,
It's
I'm
fine.
pretty sure Marlisars would charge in knowing their stature, so it'll go in and try and smash the one Sharid is attacking there.
Okay.
With the Morning Star, which I think they favor.
That is going to miss.
Just charging through, squeezing through that space, perhaps hitting against the ceiling.
Excuse me. Pardon me.
So now this hound is going to make its way downtown, walking fast. Doing that. So spend 20 feet of movement. And then you see its mouth start to glow brighter as you just hear. And it just releases a cone of fire in the direction of the Marlisars.
Are you saying that these are hot dogs?
I hate you. So the Marlisars, Teo, and Lars, can you give me dexterity saving throws? Okay.
I had.
Yep.
Damn it.
Nice. So the Marlisars and Lars both fail the save. Teo, you succeed. I need to see.
I was worried about Lars.
So, Teo, you'll take half damage.
Mm-hmm.
The Marlisars and Lars will each take 18.
Oh no. What's Marlisars? Oh, okay. Marlisars ain't looking so good.
They're not looking great. And actually, neither is Lars after taking the brunt of that as well. And Teo, can you give me a concentration check, DC 10, for... Wait, you're not concentrating on anything. So why is it saying? It's a lie.
You might be thinking Hunter's Mark. Yeah.
Yeah. That is all that one will do.
Oui.
Oh
Bonjour.
yeah, Keck.
Oui.
Uh, it is going to. Keck is going to load up his short bow and take a shot at the one that just spewed all that fire, since it gave away its position.
Oui.
And he'll miss.
Oh, oh no.
Por qué?
Pourquoi?
Pourquoi?
Meanwhile, Garth is seeing all this happen. So saw Starkiller miss, saw Keck miss, saw the Marlasars miss, saw this just fire breath run through the Marlasars, Teo and Lars, and is just kind of sitting here like, we're all gonna die. Okay. He then just starts sprinting up towards the front. Here and then here. And let's do that. He will pull out his longsword and shield, and he is going to attack the hound in front of Sharid. And when he does so, he just lets loose a flurry of 3 attacks.
Oh.
And for funsies, I'll keep this one public. So, splip, splat, splunk.
Splip, splap, splunk.
Splip, splap, splunk. 2 of those hits land, dealing a total of 18 points of damage. And so he just runs up, takes this long sword in one hand, and just starts wailing on this this hound. And he stands next to Sharid, bearing his shield, saying, "Don't worry, we all can't be useless." Meanwhile, it's Starkiller's turn again. Starkiller is going to knock up 2 arrows onto his bow at the same time and let them both fly at the 2 creatures in front of Sharid. So you and you. Cool. Both of those hit. So the first one takes 9 points of damage. The one behind him takes 12. Lars, having just been burned fairly profusely, is going to run up into Garth's space, attack with his short sword, where he hits, and super. He kind of sneaks in, being lower than everybody else here, kind of slides between Garth's legs, and just shoves this short sword up through the chest of this hound. And you just hear this guttural howl as the creature falls to the floor, and he backs on up. Saying, "That's better. That's more how that should have gone." Sharid.
Sharid is going to step up. Oh wait, All right, moved Udo too. Hold on. Do I have him?
Uh,
Hold on. Let me select token. Interesting.
press escape and then try and select your token again. Well, that's
Oh,
weird.
for some reason, yeah, that's weird. For some reason, it's like. Yeah, Sharid is just going to step up one and take the direction.
Okay. Shari's just sitting there. Hit me. And in fact, the one in front of you will try to beat you. Okay. It is going to try and bite you. And it is going to miss. Udo.
Okay, sorry, I had to wait for that animation to go away.
Oh, no.
Udo is going to take another shot with his longbow.
Okay. That one will hit.
Cool. For
Which one would you like to hit?
the one closest to the Marlosaur.
Okay. All right. So an arrow goes flying, pins right into the back of this creature. And Teo, you're up.
Will it be possible for Marlosars to get to the left side of us in this middle area here?
Yeah, it would pretty much be the same thing, entering your spaces and then passing through. He just might incur an attack of opportunity.
Right. So before moving in, if I can, maybe just over here instead. Teo will take shot at the one, I believe it's... no, he'll try and get the attention of the one up here. He'll just switch to his spear and go to engage it.
Okay.
Trying to get its attention, just going for a spear attack right at its jaw.
All right. All right. So from your pack, what used to be your fishing pole, you pull out, which now houses, I assume, stone, metal tip.
Yeah, got quite the hunting spear now.
Yeah. And then you just lunge forward through the darkness to this glowing creature and just dig right in. Go ahead, roll the damage.
If I could have Slayer's Prey on that one, I'm not sure. Just one.
I don't remember which one was which. Yeah, that's fine. So you dig in and maybe add a little bit of a twist as part of your Slayer's Prey.
After stabbing into it, Teo will just keep locking eyes with that dog, trying to keep its attention if it moves around.
Okay.
And Marlosars is going to disengage.
All right. So Roland is going to maintain his space. So yeah, the Marlosars are going to disengage backwards into the crowd of interesting characters that you have here. Is that all?
Yeah.
All right. This
So I don't think he has no like potions or anything on him, right?
Nah, I don't
Probably
think
his
so.
ale, if anything.
Okay. All right. So this one, since the Marlosar is left and you're the one in front of it, is going to attack you. What's your AC?
15.
Cool. So it lunges for you. And as its maw just kind of gapes open, you can see that there's kind of almost like a fire burning in its chest as it just bites down on your arm, maybe that forward arm that's holding the spear. And in addition to the fangs, you see that it burns. like its teeth almost sear your skin. As it does about 14 points of damage to you.
Yeah, that hurts.
You're not concentrating. Leave us alone. Oh, I see what's up. Okay, cool. That shouldn't happen again. Ooh, so that did hurt you. Good. Keck knocks another arrow.
We.
Goes to fire. That's not the right attack I just rolled. And it fires after this hound kind of bites down on your arm, Teo. You feel an arrow rush past your face, and the next thing you know, it's now poking out of the eye of this creature. And as you look back into the darkness, all you hear is
We.
Bon.
the creature is still alive, but it's now got an arrow poking out of its skull. And Garth is going to swing around here. And he's going to attack the creature in front of you, Teo. And he's going to hit a nat 20. And he just swings up beside it, jams his long sword into this thing from the back, piercing all the way through to the chest, ripping that sword back out. And then he's going to step in 5 feet and use his next attack action to shield bash the one in front of Sharid, which does hit, and it needs to make a strength check. Which it fails. So he swings up, bashes the thing with his shield. It falls prone to the ground. And he leaves it there. And he's like, "You two can finish this one."
Teo, who's like got a claw on the wall and is. What? My arm.
It hurts. Is this what STD feels like? Starkiller will, after this thing falls prone and he's using a ranged weapon, he's going to hold his action for when it stands up. Lars, being very charred, is going to hold off. Sharid, this creature is now prone in front of you.
Well, I guess Sharid feels obligated to hit it now. So with
I
his,
let it live.
he with his spear he tries to lift it up high and kind of put this thing out of its misery. 17.
And you sure do. You swing down, your spear pierces this thing's skull, and you can see the light in its mouth and eyes start to.
I forgot it was at advantage, so I.
Oh, it was at advantage. That's right. So yeah, you pierce this thing's skull, and it just starts to lose its light, and just leaves just a husk on the ground in front of you.
So what do I see further down the corridor?
You do, but with the length of your, well, you have
I have
dark vision. You see 4 huddled humanoids, kind of in a corner. Something seems off about them. They seem to be huddled, but it seems there's almost like extra movement happening around them, or in addition to their bodies.
Uh, okay. Sharid is going to like slowly approach them.
Okay.
Teo
As
trying to walk and follow, like stumbling against the wall and stumbling forward.
everything hurts. Excuse me. As you approach, the closest creature to you kind of turns, and you see it slowly reaches out a hand, and you can just barely make out, "Help me." As your dark vision kind of becomes a little clearer, you see that this person is coated in some kind of red ichor, and it seems to be almost fighting them in their own movements.
Um, Sharid would like. I oh my god, he just kind of like is stunned for a moment, like not knowing what to do. Uh, so yeah, that's the expression on Sharid's face once he sees these is just like shock.
Teo's going to be leaning against his spear in the ground, and would he recognize this as some sort of slime creature or resin?
Give me a nature check. So you would recognize it as some kind of slime, but it's not one that you've seen before. Slimes typically don't attach themselves to people, and usually if they do, they start dissolving. This one most certainly seems pretty intact.
We'll just kind of elbow nudge Sharid, but also lean on him a bit since he's wounded. I think this is like that creature that attacked our wagon, but dyed Kool-Aid. I mean, red.
The good flavor.
No, I had to help them.
I'm not sure if we can help them. Are they all living?
They all seem to be moving.
But the wolves were just watching them.
Do they look like they're in pain? I mean, obviously, like a lot of pain.
It seems to be that way. And give me perception or investigation. Give me perception checks. So Sharid, lying on the ground, kind of scattered about, you see the remnants of some pickaxes.
Um,
Teal just... Yeah.
Close your eyes.
Teo trusts Sharid, so he does so.
Sharid is going to.
Oh God.
So yeah, sure. As he sees Teo like close his eyes, he turns around, puts his thumbs together, and says, "I'm sorry, my friends," and he coats them all in a flame.
Teo will be like, I can still hear that.
Is it hot in here? So So yeah, Sharid, you just let loose. You're able to hit all four of them, and you start to see this ichor start to turn black almost and kind of drip from them, while at the same time their skin starts to sear and char. All four of them just kind of fall over as this ichor just kind of pools into one large puddle underneath them.
Yeah, seeing them suffer like that, or like no longer suffering. Sharid says, peace.
Out of curiosity, Teo will try shape water on the pool? Just to try and
It
see
will
if he
not
has
work.
any effect? No, okay. And he'll just kind of poke from afar that little pool to see if it's still moving or living.
It does not.
Is there any other exit to this room?
Sharid, can you close your eyes now?
Oh my god. Don't. Don't. They're cooked though.
Sharid says, yes, my friend.
And Teo's gonna look for bones.
So the others just kind of round the corner after seeing just the lights of these flames flicker about, and now they just see Teo just kind of scraping and scrounging about in these four corpses. Like, what the hell are you doing?
Meat's back on the menu.
Was there any other way out of this area?
Give me a perception check.
Sharid, you're in good condition, but some of us could use a short rest here.
The area seems to be a dead end. But after a little bit of tinkering around, investigating, and kind of checking out the walls, you see that there's a strange outcropping in a wall to the north. It seems to almost be a door.
Teo, yeah, Sharid, Teo, how are you holding up?
Teo will be standing there, burnt mostly, and his arm just bleeding continuously. I could use a little bit of a breath. And same with Marlisars and Lars.
Very well. Perhaps we catch our breath here before we proceed further. Why don't you find somewhere comfortable to sit? I will inform the others. As Sharid walks off towards the group.
Okay. They all kind of round the corner to join you in this open area. As you all, I assume, just kind of not necessarily make camp, but just a short rest area.
Yeah.
All right. So, while you guys take care of your short rest, we are going to be right back for just a minute.
All right.
All right. And we're back. Super. So, as you're taking this rest, Sharid, I assume you shared the information of this possible door to the north.
Yeah.
Okay. So Laura's kind of approaches you and says, "I think this might be one of the tieflings' passageways that we're looking for. Can't imagine any other use for a hidden doorway in this kind of cavern." All right. Are you all ready?
Ready to rock.
I get a good sample of presumably human bones.
I'll say you grab I mean, a lot of it's charred, but you notice that some of it seems to have just very small remnants of this red ichor. It seems inert, but it's kind of embedded itself in some of the bones. But you do manage to get enough for a few crafts here and there.
Okay.
So once everyone's rested up, after about an hour or so, Lars gets up, starts kind of investigating around this door, and that's not quite what I wanted to do, but that's okay. We'll go with it. I believe that was actually this. Everyone seems to be more or less back in tippy-toppy condition. So Lars investigates around this secret door area, and you see him find a stone that kind of pushes out further than the rest. He pushes this stone in. You hear a loud thud, not of stone, but almost of metal, as a 5-foot section of this wall starts to push in and swing as if it's a door, revealing a carved stone passageway lit with torches that seems to connect two locations, one to the east and one to the north. He says, I think we found the passageway we're looking for."
This is good news, my friend. You said the direction that we want to head is east.
He kind of looks around and says, "Well, if we're underneath where I think we are, east will probably take us to the Arbiter's Eye, the Sovereign's stronghold. North should take us to the hold where your friends are being kept."
Teo immediately starts going that way.
Yeah, Sharid, without hesitation, follows Teo.
Okay.
Although I'm curious, my friend, how are you able to tell which direction is north and which is east without the sky?
He says, "I've lived in this city for a very long time. You kind of get a feeling for these kinds of things."
Oh, so you come down here often?
He says, "Well, on my previous patrols, I was stationed in the Arteries once or twice."
Very good, my friend. Very good.
So if I poke holes in what I'm saying, Nick.
It's my job. No, it's
So as you all head north, you do notice that there is, on this side, you can see a mechanism for a second door heading out the west. But up ahead, you see that the hallway continues on, lit by torches, for what seems like yards and yards and yards. Whoever built out these tunnels had a lot of work in this.
Teo will continue forward. I don't think we're even stealthing.
Okay. So let's tickle you. You all walk for maybe 10, 15 minutes. Like, this is a well-hewn pathway. And you ultimately come to a section that ends in a double doorway. Wood banded in iron with two large rings that act as the doorknobs or handles. Whatever use this door has, it has seen a fair amount of it. It doesn't look new, looks fairly used, but in a passageway like this, you can't imagine that many people pass through.
So we're all the way. Okay, I see it now. Sorry. Loading.
No, you're good. Loading.
Loading the hold. Aha. Okay. So there's double doors ahead of us.
Mm-hmm.
Sharid attempts to like slowly open the doors to see if they're locked. Are they locked?
They are not locked.
I'm not sure if intentional, but I actually can't see anything. Just tokens.
They should be able to see a little bit, but you are essentially in a hallway.
Okay.
So yeah, Sharid is going to crack the door open just to get a little peek of what's on the other side.
Okay. As you crack the door open, the sight before you is not what you expected for a prison. There are well-carved stone slates lining the floor, creating a fairly consistent surface to walk on. A number of braziers light this room, and this is a fairly large room. You see bookcases lining parts of the walls, alchemical equipment tucked away in one corner. The odd centerpieces seem to be two tables, both made of some kind of stone. On one of these tables seems to be a suit of armor. It seems to be one of the new model automatons that you fought in the mall, but without its signature red glow. However, there seems to be a large vat next to this table, bearing that glow instead.
Is the vat full? Oh, like all the way?
Seems to be.
Okay. Same color as the creatures we just saw, the humanoids, presumably.
Yep. Kind of that dark red ichor.
I don't, Teo. I don't know why, but something's telling me that perhaps a slow entry is not the best idea. Rather,
You
we
think to
should
be a little more brash?
catch him off guard. What do you
Should
think?
Roland be on front?
I don't know. I don't. Yes,
Yes.
yes, my friend. I mean, what better way to catch them off guard than a motherfucking dragon? You know.
Teal will just be nodding.
Motherfucking dragon.
Are there any notes or research papers in this area?
I don't know. You got to go in.
Oh, we're not in yet, right? Okay. Yeah. Tia's gonna move aside and like look
Yep.
over to Roland along with Sharid.
Garth, did you hear that?
Says sure. We're gonna need to do some shuffling here in this hallway, but that's fine. Uh,
Yeah.
So you all kind of just back out, shimmy around one another. Especially
The
the
movie
Marla stars and
theaters.
Roland are trying to like get around each other.
Oh, excuse me. Oh, excuse me.
Pardon me. All right, so let's rearrange this madness here. Everyone slide back about a good 10 feet. In comes the dragon. There we go. So Roland kind of readies, almost pouncing down on all fours, ready to kind of headbutt the door open at any given order.
Okay, here's what we do. We rush in on the count of 3. Kick. Count us off.
Oui.
Uh-huh.
Duh. And then it just lets out a squawk.
I just want you to count the 3 in French.
So Roland, on command, just busts open this door
Nobody's there.
and and kind of charges in. I assume with you all in tow. And you see now that you're in here, on the far wall seem to be a number of crates, as well as a large area lit by 2 braziers that seems to be some kind of lift.
You mean braziers?
Braziers.
Sorry, inside joke.
Oh, I know. The north wall seems to be lined with more of these automaton armor suits, none of which bear that trademark glow. But the odd thing is, to the south seems to be a jail cell, solitary, singular, as well as a wooden cabinet, but not quite a storage cabinet. It looks like it has a sliding area or a sliding door of sorts. Inside the cell seems to be a red-skinned humanoid.
And this figure ominously in the middle.
That is the automaton that is laying on the
Gotcha.
slab.
No hostiles?
Otherwise, you don't see any movement.
Teo, go check him out.
Yeah, Teal will approach this caged individual, but like calmly, hand and claws up front.
Okay. The individual seems to be a hobgoblin. Red skin, dark-haired goatee, a little bit of graying hair, kind of held up in a very loose bun of sorts. It looks like he's been here for quite a while. You can see that over his right eye is an eye patch, as he just kind of looks up at you with his one piercing yellow eye. That's essentially who you see.
Hey, are you all right?
Do I look like I'm all right?
Nope. I'll go. Tia will
And
go
then-
check what the lock is.
Strangely enough, the lock seems abnormal. It doesn't look like it takes a normal key. It looks like some kind of gem slots in.
Tia will take a close look at whatever the shape is, and then convey it to the rest of the party to search for in the room.
And we'll say the rest of the group kind of starts to fan out to the various edges of the room.
I imagine Keck might be good at this, so Tia will encourages Keck.
We.
So he will kind of start investigating around. Doesn't find any item that matches that description, but he will kind of flag you down.
Bonjour. Bonjour.
Come over, Solu.
And you'll see that in one of the crates that he's investigating, there seem to be a number of personal effects locked up in these boxes, as well as scraps of iron that seem to be used to make armor.
We're in the thick of their machinations here. Keck, what is taking your interest here? Just the iron?
We.
But no gem.
Mm.
So, Sharid, what are you investigating? You're muted, my friend.
Apologies, I was having a coughing fit. Sharid is going to make his way over here to the new model automaton, just to get a sense, like its current state, anything like that. Anything I can ascertain as to why, is it complete? What does it? How does it work?
Yeah. It seems to be, despite all other appearances, just a suit of armor. As you investigate, it doesn't seem to have any inner mechanisms or any connecting joints. The only thing you see is the table that it's sitting on, which seems to be specially made for these suits of armor, is connected to the vat in the center of the room.
Interesting. Sharid is ways over to Udo and Starkiller, and like, hey, I don't feel comfortable with this being, prepared. Can you two remove it from the table? I need to go talk to the man in the cell over there. I have questions.
They'll kind of look at each other and just kind of, yeah, sure. And then they'll actually take it off kind of piece by piece and just kind of set it on the ground or off to the north wall with the other suits of armor.
And then, yeah, Sharid is going to want to go down. Since Teo is no longer next to the cell, and I apologize, I had to step away. Did we ascertain a name to this person? Okay. My friend. Does he happen to look like a half orc?
He does not.
Does not.
He actually seems to be a hobgoblin.
A hobgoblin.
Fairly. Let me know if you start picking up an echo, by the way.
No. You're good.
Good here.
The hobgoblin seems to have been here for a while. um, with messy, messy black hair, a little bit of graying, kind of caught up in a bun. Um, it looks like over one of his eyes seems to be an eye patch.
Did Teo talk to this person already?
Not really.
Oh, not really. Okay. My friend, what is your name?
He kind of looks up at you and says, "My name is Mars."
Mars. Where, where are the guns?
He kind of looks up at all of these suits of armor and says, "Well, depending on what you mean by guards, that would be a good group of them. Otherwise, they're upstairs."
What? I assume this is the place where these machines are made.
One of,
one of.
yeah.
Okay. Where is everybody? Why are you the only one in this room?
Give me a history check.
I'm gonna do my blind GM roll on this.
So the name Mars sounds familiar as you're asking these questions. If you recall, the name of the sovereign here in Bugan was named Mars, specifically Mars the Marked.
The sovereign. I'm so sorry. What position is the sovereign? Like
He's essentially the ruler here.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, Mars. You mean the Mars?
Well, it looks like someone's got a brain, huh?
Well, don't go that far. What are you doing in this cell?
He says, "First off, let me do you a favor. No one's here is because the only person who's usually down here is my quote unquote advisor, Urgel. This is one of his labs. He's currently upstairs fetching fresh materials, we'll say.
Is he planning on being back soon?
Who knows? Usually he's up there for a few minutes. Depends on who intercepts him while he's up there."
And why? I have so many questions, but I assume we need to get you out of here. How do we open the door?
Well, despite the fact that I built this city without the use of magics, that snake came in here and decided to do some experiments using them. The key to this cell is one of those confounded spell gems he keeps on his person.
I see. And he will be back at some point.
If you wait long enough, yeah.
Okay. And these automatons. What else needs done to activate them?
He gestures his head to the large vat, which starts to continue to kind of pulse a red glow. And as you look over your shoulder at it,
Yeah.
you think you might have seen a face. But as quickly as you think you saw it, it's just red liquid.
What the? Is there a way to disable it?
Beats the hell out of me.
Shit.
I've been in here for 3 years. And kind of backtracking a second, when you mention the name Mars, ironically, this is not intentional, Lars will pick up on that and kind of rush over and almost cling to the cell, just saying, "Your Highness, Your Highness," essentially in the same confused state that you are.
But I'm glad that you two can be reunited. But we need to find a way to get him out. And he says that Ergel is the only who has the key. And at some point he's going to return back to this room. Perhaps we should stage an ambush.
Lars just kind of looks around. He's like, "I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna stab him. Take his head."
Please do. But what do you think of the plan?
I mean, it's as good of a plan as any. Assuming he's alone, we certainly have the numbers advantage.
Everyone, huddle up, huddle up.
Do like a football huddle again.
Everyone, including the Marlosars, you all just make a big circle.
All right. Everyone. For those of you who are not aware, this is Mars. The Mars.
The chocolate bar?
Delicious.
Yes. And he says that Ergel is the one who has imprisoned him here. And he has the gem on him that can release him. He is expected back to this room at some point. I propose we set an ambush. Any objections?
Teo like gestures like, "Hey, come on, I love traps." Like,
All right.
Starkiller will actually speak up like, wait. How is he the Mars? He's been watching the matches in the mall the entire time. How would he end up down here?
it seems Mars has been being puppeteered.
Well, so you both remember seeing a red-skinned humanoid up in that upper terrace in the mall.
So this is where my lore. Was it believed that Mars was the current sovereign or the former sovereign?
Current.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay. Well, I don't know, but this Ergero seems like the kind of person that is able to make the impossible possible. But are there any objections to this plan?
They all look about each other like, I mean, all of us versus one guy? Sure.
Okay. Here's my thoughts. Roland and Garth, get back on the other end of that door. Marla sauce. I don't know yet.
You will do something.
Everyone else find somewhere on the perimeter to hide.
Okay.
Teo's gonna do that thing where you hide above the door on the ceiling, just clawed in, planning to close the door behind them when they come in.
Before they leave, Garth says, "Sure. Sharid, Teo, come here. I got one thing to show you that I saw before we had this little love
Yes,
circle."
My friend, yes.
He takes you to the south end of this room where there's that large wooden cabinet, and he slowly slides one of the wooden panels to the side, and inside seems to be a human woman, red hair and a scar on the left side of her face from the middle of her forehead down to her cheek. She seems to be asleep in this cabinet, which seems to be a makeshift bed of sorts.
The fuck?
This being the woman that you see.
Let's do a medicine check to see if she's stable and okay.
Sure.
Without wanting to wake her, Sharid goes back to Mars and says, "Who is this?"
Beats the hell out of me. She seems to have some connection with Ergo, but it's not exactly like they talk a bunch. He seems to be, I don't know, doing some kind of experiments. She helps sometimes, sometimes she's subject. I don't know. Some kind of weird situation.
Fuck.
And
Lars,
Teo,
do you-
as far
does-
as you
does
can
she
tell,
look-
she's just asleep.
Lars, does she look familiar?
He looks at her. I don't think I've seen her before.
Shit.
Does she have any marks on her? Any like other than the one on her face? Like forearms? Namely, Teo is interested if there's any marks on veins or arteries.
She seems to have a number of scars throughout her body.
Just like random cuts.
Cuts, it looks like places were sewn, then recut, then resewn. And they seem to be anywhere between maybe an inch in length to 3 inches, and they have healed to varying degrees.
Are they consistent with like a knife attack or like self-inflicted wounds or?
With your medicine check, you're not sure.
Shit. I don't know what to do. Did we?
She was just in the closet.
Do we leave the closet door open? To lure Ergel to this corner of the room. I don't know. How do we use this to our advantage? I don't know. There's too many unknowns.
I think she must be a sort of component in whatever this recipe is in that cooking vat over there. Although to be trusted to be here without restraints, either she's posed as not a threat or is complicit. Does she have any weapons or spell components on her?
Not that you can see.
Sharid, does she look like a threat to you?
Fuck, I don't know.
I am tempted to awaken her.
As you deliberate this, you start to hear the sound of chains moving as the lift on the far side of the room seems to start moving.
Okay.
Well, time to hide.
Hide. And Sharid is actually going to hide in the closet with her.
Okay.
Is there room?
I mean, yes, but without disturbing her, that would be kind of hard. So,
Oh, okay. Well, like if it's, I don't, yeah.
because essentially it's just like there's a cabinet that maybe is like 2 feet up, and it's almost like a big armoire, except the whole thing is just the size of a bed.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Shit. Yeah. Sharid is is he able to? I don't fucking know.
Where is this elevator on this map? I can't really tell.
I think
Over
yeah,
there.
pinged on the
Gotcha.
left.
Is it plausible to like hide, like to climb above it and hang there?
Not really. It kind of opens up to the ceiling, and then the shaft just goes up.
Okay.
Keck
Is there?
will kind of
Yep.
climb onto these crates, and then just kind of
Yeah.
crouch.
I was
Okay.
kind of thinking something similar anyway.
Um,
Oh, Marlosaurus. Do you want to be like to shove Marlosaurus like on parallel on the other side?
Sharid is going to I don't know, hide. Like I don't. There's not a ton of hiding places here. Yeah, I guess Ergo is gonna hide. Where the fuck is the Marlosaurus gonna hide?
Put some of the armor on him and just make him stand still.
Lars is
That's-
going to try and like crouch behind one of the testing tables.
Okay, yeah. Sharid is going to I'm going to duck in with them. I don't know what the Marlosaurus can they jump up on the crates or something? Like is that
I mean, I guess so. The elevator or the lift it's got stone walls on either side, so it's only open in the front. So
okay?
technically, yes.
Okay.
Okay, so give me stealth checks.
And before going hiding, Tia will just throw a single gold coin just on the floor up ahead, trying to kind of give a little any leverage to gain attention.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Gonna be interesting. So do you all close the door where Garth and Roland are?
Yes.
Let's do that. All right. So after a few minutes, this lift seems to come from very high up. A pale-skinned tiefling with black horns lowers down with the lift, sporting a pair of gold-rimmed glasses and several rings, a few pendants, and seems to have with him a humanoid in shackles who seems to have had a cloth gag put in his mouth. And he just kind of pushes him into the room and steps out of the lift.
Oh, Lars probably isn't very happy.
Well, so Sharid, give me a perception check where you are. You feel like something's still watching you, almost as if something is breathing down your neck, and it's not the dragon behind you. You turn around and you see what can only really be described as a specter, with black hood, gold trim, emaciated hands and digits, just floating over Roland's shoulder and just pointing a decrepit finger up at you.
For you to cleaning.
Shit. All right. Sharid is He's gonna go for it. He's gonna go to attack it. I'm just gonna charge it.
That's fine. Give me an attack roll. Okay. So you thrust at it with your spear. It stabs right through this thing, but you don't feel much resistance. You feel a little bit, but it seems to almost pass through this thing entirely. As it starts to try and move past you, phasing through Roland and in your general direction.
Okay.
I'll let you get one more attack at it before it passes through you.
Passes through me.
Oh yeah.
Okay, if I wanted to decide to run the other way, is that an option or just to attack?
So just through the door.
Run
the other
through the
option?
door. Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
No, Sharid wouldn't run. He would stand his ground. Okay. Make another spirit attack.
Okay, you do hit it. And again, it makes a little bit of purchase, but not quite a lot. And it just continues to move through you and ultimately phases through your body, leaving almost a chill in its wake as it passes through the door behind you. Now, Teo, you see this creature that you've seen floating about the arteries,
Mm-hmm.
passing through the door that Sharid, Garth, and Roland are hiding behind. And the tiefling kind of regards it and just says, "Oh, you're back already," before it just points and gives out the same and you see that its hand in pointing sweeps to the other people that are hiding about in the room, or at least Starkiller, who's in his direct eye line, Lars, who's in his direct eye line. And Teo, you see this tiefling reach for something at his side.
We've been ahead. He would roll out to attack.
Okay. So you roll out. How do you attack him?
Quickly assessing what he thinks he's grabbing for.
Looks to be some kind of firearm on his side.
Just gonna attack that. Or his hand.
Yeah, okay. I was gonna say you're gonna just attack the fire.
Well, yeah, I
just,
guess
like,
that would be a
knock away
disarm,
or
but
something.
I'll attack his hand, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead and roll me an attack roll.
Hope.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll me damage.
Do I have to roll this twice then? It's gonna add it twice, so I'll just roll a d8, right?
When you hover over your roll, click the little plus icon.
I don't have a plus icon.
There you go. There you go. I rolled it for you.
Oh, you did? Okay.
So you roll out from over top of these crates, pull back an arrow onto your longbow,
Yeah.
and you let loose. It scrapes across his hand as he's reaching for this firearm, doing a fair amount of damage, actually. Um, and he looks at you and says, "Well, well, well. Looks like we got rats." And
We do.
you see that he's still reaching for this firearm, but several rings that are on his fingers start to glow as they seem to be inlaid with spell gems. So,
Bonus action hunting mark.
I'm debating. I think we'll start initiative next week.
All right.
Okay.
You've now found this laboratory, a hobgoblin that claims himself to be the sovereign, as well as this tiefling which seems to be experimenting on people. So we'll find out what all that's about next week.
All right.
Yeah. You guys are at least in the same location as your friends. It's progress.
Getting there.
Getting there. All right. So we will pick that up on Monday and maybe have another weekend session with the other two to see if we can't speed things along. But
All right.
keep an eye out and we'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.
Bye.